Hi, Troy Smutka from Great Day on the Water Guide Service here with another viewer question segment. This is great. We hadn't had any of these for a while, and then we had a question about bass, so I did a largemouth and a smallmouth, and now that inspired Ryan in South Dakota to ask about my favorite or two favorite ways to fish walleyes. Again, there's dozens of ways to fish walleyes. If you want to consistently catch them, you got to know quite a few. But if I could have my choice, my two favorite ways, and different times of the year, but the one is trolling crankbaits. This is number 7, Berkeley flicker shad. We use a lot of Berkeley flicker shads, 7s and 5s, a lot of Rapala shad wraps and jointed shad wraps, 7s and 5s. And as far as equipment, this is a St. Croix Premier crankbait rod. It's telescopes out to 8 feet, telescopes down to 6.5 for storage. And then this is a Shakespeare line counter reel. It's got a line counter on here so you can keep track how much line you put out, so you get an idea for water depth how much to put out, and then you also know when you catch a fish how much was out, and you try to duplicate that. I have 2 of these. I have a St. Croix Icon with the same reel that also telescopes out to 8 feet. We'll put rod holders in, but sometimes we'll hold them too. This is nice and light to hold. But you certainly put in a rod holder, and we'll use 8-footers for the outside lines, and then we'll use a 7-footer for the middle line just to spread the lines out a little bit. And then we just, these baits will get down anywhere in that 10 to 12, so you can fish them anywhere from about 10 to maybe 15 feet, depending where the fish are riding. You can go with deeper diving baits for deeper. You can use middle baits, like an original floating Rapala for shallower. It's a great way to cover water. We do this early in the spring when walleyes are on weed edges or on drop-offs. We try to cover water and get the baits in front of them, and it's a good way any time of the year when fish are scattered and aggressive. My second way, if I had my choice, is a slip bobber system. I've got a Bill lighted slip float on here. If you haven't tried slip bobber fishing at night, give it a try. But you can do it, during the daytime with regular floats as well. I have for equipment, this is also a telescoping rod. This is a St. Croix Legend Tournament. Extends out to 8 feet, down to 6.5. This has, for the crankbaits, we had a moderate action rod, so the rod gives so the fish can inhale that crankbait moving by at, usually we're doing 1.5 to 2 miles an hour. This has a fast tip because it's just about reeling down, getting your slack line up and setting the hook, and you get a lot of slack line when you have a bobber out, especially if it's windy. So this long 8-foot rod, the Berkeley Fire line, we're using 10-pound test for the trolling crankbaits, 8-pound test for the bobbers. That no stretch line, this long rod with the fast tip gets a good hook set. Then I always like to put a swivel, snap swivel, and I have pre-tied leaders, if you will, of Berkeley Vanish fluorocarbon for stealth, so you just can't see this stuff in the water. And I have various jigs and hooks on the end. This is a slow poke jig, it's called, but it's a jig that hangs vertically. We have horizontal jigs, we have plain hooks as well. And then we put a jumbo leech a lot of the time, but early in the year we'll put a good sized shiner minnow on there too. And this is when you know where the fish are at. They're on a point, they're on a reef, they're on a hump, they're in an inside pocket on a weed line, but more of a precise. But we also do a technique called power bobbing, where we will work the top of a reef and use the trolling motor to slow our drift to the same speed that the bobbers are drifting with the wind, and you can cover some water that way too and stay up, especially for rocky areas, stay up out of the rocks with it. Okay, so those are my 2 favorites if the conditions are right and the fish are in the right places. Lots of others, but that should get you started for fishing for walleyes a good portion of the year. Thanks for the question, Ryan. Hope the answer helps you out. Let's keep those viewer questions coming. Until the next one, I'm Troy Smutka from Great Day on the Water Guide Service. Good luck, and I will see you out there somewhere.